So last week on the re-debut of Real Talk, we discussed New Year's resolutions. If you haven't had a chance to listen or watch that episode yet, please feel free to go back. Again, we're on all of your streaming platforms as well as on YouTube, so plenty of opportunities to check it out. This week, I want to tell you what mine is. I want to tell you what my New Year's resolution is. And it is as follows. I was asked to share with a group of friends on New Year's Eve, and I came up with recognizing my fear, recognizing when my fear rears its head and deciding to take action and push through it anyway. This is something that as I jump out into a more advanced stage of my professional entrepreneurial life, that comes up often, because so often when we're on a new journey or a new chapter of a journey, there are a lot of new and scary things that we need to do to take us from where we are to where we want to go. And we can often find excuses, right, to talk ourselves out of doing these things, taking these steps, even though we know that those are the steps we need to take to level up, as it were. I was listening on the way back from New Jersey from the holidays to James Wedmore's Mind Your Business podcast. He did the 12 Days of Abundance. I definitely, after you listen to this, recommend giving him a follow on your preferred platform and checking it out. And he had this to say about fear, and I might be paraphrasing. This might not be a direct quote, but fear is essentially when we focus our conscious attention on an undesirable outcome. Right? We're afraid of what might happen. We're afraid of what might go wrong. We're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of failing. There are plenty of reasons that our minds can come up with to be afraid. But let me ask you this. If you live in fear and you don't take action, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is you're not going to get to where you want to go, right? Now, if you do take action and you do push through that fear, there, of course, are no guarantees in life. There are no guarantees in business, right? But what you have is, first of all, knowing that you tried something, knowing that you faced that fear and pushed through it, and so therefore it will be a little more comfortable for you the next time. But also, let's say you do fail. Let's say you do run into something unexpected. Things don't go quite as planned. What you still have then is a lesson, is something that you've learned from that failure, is something that you can take forward to your next attempt. Because you see, and I know I've mentioned this before, failure is not the end. Failure is a lesson. Failure is something to learn from, to grow from, and to utilize the next time around to do better. So when we fear failure, we're fearing growth. We're fearing lessons. We're fearing the chance to understand ourselves, understand the world better and our place in it so that we may do good work and fulfill our visions, right? Of course, this fear arises in business. It arises in relationships. Who's ever been afraid to ask somebody out, right? It arises in all areas of our life, but we have a choice. And that choice is we can either let the fear control us and choose not to act, or we can recognize the fear, we can give it a name, and we can move forward anyway. We can push through the fear. It doesn't mean it has to go away. It can be there. It might always be there. But it doesn't have to have control. It doesn't have to dictate to us the action that we are going to take. We, instead, can dictate to it the action that we are going to take. So that's what I want to share today. That's something that I'm working on. And if this helped you, then please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. Of course, we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, a bunch of different platforms, YouTube, so you can follow us there. Working on getting us up on Apple. I know I said we were there last week. I just kind of assumed it would have distributed through Anchor, where we are also. That's where this is hosted, but hasn't happened quite yet, so I'm going to get to the bottom of that, see what's going on there. But yeah, please follow us. Please follow Underground Music Collective, undergroundmusiccollective.com, as well as the Quinn Spin podcast, where we go deep with musicians and other creative types about their process, their journeys, especially in this strange time of COVID. And if you want to have a one-on-one conversation about mindset, about content strategy, please head over to gerardlongo.net. That's GERARDLONGO.net, and we can set up some one-on-one time. Stay safe and healthy out there. I'll see you next week for another edition of Real Talk.